So, today's topic is going to be something that I have been struggling with lately, and a lot of my clients are struggling with. And usually I don't struggle with this. I don't really know why I'm actually struggling with this right now. But I mean, I'm human, and I guess all the travels made me like fall out of like my regular routines. I have a hard time like finding my way back to my normal routine. But what I want to talk about is routines and how important it actually is, at least for me. And I feel for a lot of people, it is important to have some sort of a routine. I'm not saying that you have to have like a crazy routine where you have like your entire day scheduled out and that you need to follow it like by a T every day. But the thing is, the more of a routine that I have, and the more I stick to it, the better I do feel. I know that for a fact because I've been trying, like, as I said, right now I fell off and I'm not feeling my best. I'm not feeling as focused, as motivated, as inspired to do things as I usually do. And this is nothing I want to share for you guys to like feel, oh my God, I'm so sorry to hear that. It's actually just like in order to share my real and raw experience myself and that I'm not always perfect. My life is also it has its ups and downs. It's not perfect every day. Um, it's not gonna like I'm not feeling like going to the gym every day. I'm not feeling like eating my meal prep food every day. Some days I do crave a lot of things. I just want to eat whatever I have in front of me or whatever I see. And yeah, it's even more a struggle I feel like sometimes when you're at home all the time because you're so close to the fridge. Not a good thing. But however, like having a routine really helps me. I know that because I feel way better when I do have a routine. And usually like I really like I'm super extreme. I know that and not all people need to be as extreme as I am because the thing is like my goals are really extreme as well. I want to become a professional bikini athlete, which requires a lot more from me than from other people who just want to live like a healthy lifestyle. That do require some effort and it do require a certain like kind of like a certain amount of a routine, but you can be more flexible and you can have more of a balanced lifestyle. As a bikini athlete, I do want to have a balanced lifestyle when I'm off season. But as long as I'm in like competition mood and prep mood, I do need to stay in my routine and I do need to like keep everything pretty much the same. And I know for some people that might seem crazy and you might feel like I am crazy, probably. But it's just like what makes me feel good and what makes me reach my goal. And having a goal in mind as well will also help you to get there quicker because if you have a goal, you actually have like a focus, you have a vision, you have something that you can come back to when you fall out of your routine. So that's what I usually do. I sit down, I'm thinking about why I fell out of my routine. And this time, I think it was because I travel a lot. I went to Canada and now I'm in Texas and I know that I'm going to go to LA. So I'm trying to like settle in here in Texas for now, but I know it's only going to be for a few more weeks. So I'm like in this time zone and then I'm traveling. So I've traveled from like the same time zone as LA when I was in Vancouver, traveled to like Texas to another time zone, and then I'm traveling back to the same time zone as when I was in Vancouver. So it's just like been a lot, and like I know like when there's a lot of changes happening around, which is a lot of the case for my clients as well, that's when the routines get really messed up and it's hard to find the way back to it. But what I find is like if you have a set goal in mind, it's easier to try to get back. So what I usually do is that I sit down, I'm like, okay, let's breathe, let's figure this out, let's put down some things that you do want to do daily. I usually try to find 5 things that I want to make sure that I do every day. And for now, those things for me is, so it's different for everyone because it depends on where you are in your life and where you are in your journey and what you feel like is a priority for you. So what I have as my top 5 right now is to get in daily movement. Like either like training or on a rest day, I make sure to I get out on daily walks. So it's like either a workout. Daily movement includes either a workout or not either. It's actually a workout on like 5 days a week, and then every day I try to get between 12 and 15,000 steps a day. You definitely don't need to get up in 12 or 15,000 steps a day. That's just my personal goal. What I do recommend everybody is to try to at least get 7 or 10,000 steps in, between 7 and 10,000 steps in each day, because that'll make sure that you get the movement that your body needs in order to stay healthy and for you to feel good. Because like getting movement in is so crucial for your overall health. It's so important. I can't emphasize that enough. It's so extremely important to move your body daily because you will feel so much better. That's usually what I do. If I sit still like for a lot of hours and I start to feel like super depressed, or I don't feel like I can focus, or I don't feel motivated to do any of my work, I'm just like, okay, it's time to move. That's when I know. And I usually try to get up every hour, but when I don't, I feel like after a while I'm like, oh shit, I'm so can't focus anymore. So that's when I go outside, I go on a walk, and I make sure to move my body. And that makes me feel so much better. So next time, let's try to move your body. So my first thing is daily movement. My second thing is to track my food. I do know that not all people want to track their food, but in order to get to my goal, I need to track my food, and I feel way better when I do. Um, so tracking my food really helps me, but if you don't want to track your food, I do have another option for you. And it is, I've talked about it earlier, but it is that you use your hand to measure. So you do a palm of protein, so a palm of protein, a fist of carbs, and 2 fists of vegetables, and then a little bit of fat. So that's like generally like portions, like if you want to measure your portion size with like your eyes, that's like a good measure tool to use. You can use your hand, or if you have tracked before, you might be aware of like how big of a portion you should eat. So, number 1, daily movement. Number 2, track my food. Number 3, get my water in. So, hydrating your body is crucial because, as you probably know, we're mainly made up by water. 60 to 70% of us are like made up by water, and like everything, like like we just need water to survive, and our skin will be better. Like everything will just work better in our body, like the organ functions and all that. So it's really important to get enough water in each day. I try to get at least 3 liters in, between 3 and 4. Like I usually carry around a gallon. So those are like 3 of my top 5: daily movement, track my nutrition, and get my water in. And then we have sleep. So sleep is really important, sleep and recovery, in order to also focus like and function your best and perform your best in the gym, perform your best with family and friends, um, perform overall in life. You need to get enough sleep. I always strive to get 7 to 8 hours each night. I know that some nights I don't. And I also know that you might like struggle with that you have too much going on in your life. You have kids that are young. Like there are lots of things that can mess your sleep schedule up. And I do know that. But I'm just like trying to like I for me it's really important, and I feel way better when I get 7 or 8 hours of sleep. I know it might be hard to get that in, but I would recommend you to try your best. And if that means that you need to cut out some things at night, or like, I know that like your time alone watching TV might be super, super valuable to you, and where you feel like you're actually like recovering and you're winding down and all that. But maybe try for a week and just instead of doing like the TV, get another hour of sleep and see which one is better. Because maybe you'll actually feel more recovered and feel more energized and feel better overall if you get more sleep in. So that's just a tip. So, number one, we have daily movement. Number two, we have I'm losing it. So daily movement, track my macros, drink enough water, and then get enough sleep in order to recover. The last one is stress management, and I know I struggle with it. I know a lot of people struggle with it because there's so much going on around us all the time. It's crazy. But I do try to really, really work on managing my stress, because if I keep it on a stable level, at least, and not on a high level, I know I feel better. Because I know I like the thing is we need some stress in our lives. We will always have some kind of like stress going on. But I know one thing that really helps me is to create a list of things that I want to get done this day. Um, and don't be too like I usually have myself. I'm like, oh, I can get all these things done, and I usually list too many things in a day. Um, but be realistic. I know it's hard. I'm still working on it. I'm not good at it yet, but I'm trying to be realistic with what I can do in a day. And that's like really important to not be too hard on yourself. I usually write a list like the night before of things that I want to do the next day. But I'm not like, first of all, those like these five things are the most important things for me to keep in mind. And then if I don't have time to do something that I put on my list for the day, I just I just keep moving it to the next day. So that's like a way that I try to like manage stress in a good way. And also the daily movement helps me and all that. So a routine really helps me. So I try to always have a good morning routine where I wake up, I move my body a little bit, I drink a big glass of water and just focus on how my body feels for a moment. And then I usually go to the gym because I like to work on it out in the morning. Just feel like I get more energy for the day. I have it out of the way kind of. I love my workout, so don't get me wrong. It's just easier to not get caught up by the day and not get the workout in. Because if I don't do it in the morning, sometimes the day just like moves on so quickly and all of a sudden it's super late. Or if I go to the gym, I might be like interrupted by things that I'm like, oh, I need to do this, or like someone calls me, or someone sends me an email, and I'm stuck like answering the email. I know I could put the phone away probably, but I just feel like during the day, I need to be a little bit more. I need to be there to respond to things. So that's why I like getting it in the morning. So the rest of the day I can focus on my clients. I can focus on like being there to educate and help and inspire and motivate. So that's usually when I have the first thing like that I like to do. Like, because when I have my morning routine in place and I actually do it, that's when I feel my most like my best inside, but also like focus wise, and I feel my best like when I do things. So, first of all, getting a morning routine in place is something that I would highly encourage you, and doesn't need to be something crazy. Start with like drinking a big glass of water if you don't already, and see how that will change. try to get outside for 10 minutes and just see how like being outside will actually help you to feel better and maybe focus better when you start work. So, first of all, try to get a solid morning routine. That's what I would recommend. And second is to meal prep in order to stay consistent with your food during the week. So during the week, it's so important for me to have all my meals prepped because then I can just like grab and go or grab and eat. And I don't have to focus on what to eat next. Because if you have to focus every time on what to eat next, that's going to take up a lot of your time. And I promise you, it's not worth it. At least not for me personally. It's way easier to just have it prepped. I can eat, and then during the weekends, I can like go outside of my prep meals and I can go to places that have other sort of foods than my meal prep food, just to switch it up a little bit. And then having an evening routine. I'm not good at it myself, but I've been starting to do one. And what I try to do is to read, or what I've been doing the last few days is to read 10 pages each night, personal development or something like something where I learn. And that really helps me to wind down and helps me to just like sleep better, but also at the same time learn and grow as a person. But if you don't want to like read personal development, I would highly encourage you to read something just to get off your phone, like start to wind down before you fall asleep. So maybe it's like a fiction book or whatever you feel like, whatever you like to read, do something you enjoy before going to bed. And I find that it helps me to sleep better. So those are some things that I've been thinking about this week when it's been like a little bit up and down. But having a routine to follow really helps me, and having a routine to follow that you like. So it's super important that it is a routine for you. So just because I'm doing something, you don't have to do it. Remember, it's always so important that you like your routine and you like what you do. So just like figure out what kind of routine you like in a day and then try to apply it for a week or two and see if it works. If it doesn't, fine, then then you can like evaluate and do something different and then try that out. And try it out until you find something that you like and that works for you. So that was it for today, talking a little bit about routines and how I try to manage my life and my crazy travels sometimes, and just sharing a little bit of my thoughts around that. I hope you all are having a lovely day, and I can't wait to talk to you again very soon.